Okay.
All right. Good evening or good morning, wherever or whenever you are listening to this. This is the Drama Pod, and we are talking about our episode 2 of the Waste Palava series. The first episode was last year. We decided to give it a break so everybody can celebrate their Christmas, New Year, and everything. But we are back again. My name is Oladipo Ajabi. I'll be your host for today, and with me I have two lovely people, a computer guru and an environmental enthusiast, Mr. Idris, and we also have the lovely Miss Moshope Kesha. She's also an environmentalist and a businesswoman. So kindly introduce yourself, starting with Miss Moshope.
Yes. Good evening, everyone, and welcome again. My name is, as Tikwa said, my name is Moshope Kesha, and I'm a chemical engineering graduate as well as an environmental enthusiast and a businesswoman too.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Idris, how about you?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. My name is Adebite Idris. I'm a software developer and I'm a physicist. And I can equally say I'm a scientist anyway, and I'm hoping to become an environmental researcher anyway in future. So thank you very much for having me here today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Sir Idris, as I always call him, Sir Idris. Yeah. So from the last
Thank you very much for having me.
From the last episode, we were talking about waste generally, and last episode we were able to identify the type of waste, why waste is being generated. We were able to list out there's air pollution, water pollution, landfills, and other type of waste. We were even able to identify radioactive waste also as part of the type of waste. Today we'll be looking at why do we have this kind of waste? Like who is responsible? Is it the citizen? Is it the government? Is it both? Or is it neither? Are there spiritual forces that contribute to waste? Because in this country, we can see that snake can swallow 36 million. So probably there is a snake that is also generating waste to our environment. So I'll be starting with Ms. Moshope. Like, what do you feel? What do you feel is the problem? Who should take responsibility for what is being generated as waste in this country? Because from my little research I did, it says that Nigeria generates that is, as at 2011, we generate 32 million tons of solid waste. So we are just talking of solid waste now, not talk about air pollution and all other things. So what is the problem, Ms. Moshope?
Thank you very much, Tipo. Thank you very much. Yes, like you said, during the previous episode, we already established, the various sources, types of waste that we have in, let's just say, in Lagos, in Nigeria. And one of the prevalent ones is solid waste, which is one that we can see everywhere. If we say we want to talk about air pollution, now you can say, okay, there's dust in the air, there's this in the air, but you can say it's not really quantified, or it's not really, what's the word? You can't really just see it sometimes. But one thing we all can identify, at least even to the layman, or the man by the street will tell you, okay, the dirty waste is there, you get. So there are things, if we look at solid waste, now the question is, just not to take too much of our time and not say too much, the question is, who is responsible for this problem? who is responsible for this waste. So waste is generally what is like a residue or leftover that is generated when something has been used. So when something has been used, it means it was used by somebody or it was used by something. Yeah. So it was generated, the waste didn't just appear as we came, as we were born, we were just there seeing stuff everywhere. So it was definitely brought about or used by one or two persons. So in that light, I would say that the responsible people or the responsible persons for waste or for waste mismanagement in Lagos or Nigeria is everybody. It's everybody. It's every man, every human being. You can't leave out the government, you can't leave out the public, you can't leave out the private companies. It's on everybody. It's the people, it's the public, it's the government, and it's the companies, the private companies. Everybody has a part to play. So everyone. So for the mismanagement, it means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 persons are not doing what exactly they're supposed to do. So it's everybody's fault. That's my way.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Moshope. That's a lovely insight. Even to summarize what you said, we shouldn't try and put the blame on there is a government that is the problem, or there is the people that is the problem, because even people are part of this same government. So if everybody does what is right, we would not be experiencing this kind of waste. And from what you said also, you said waste is generated from usage of something. Yeah, so definitely there should be a way we should manage what we have generated, how we've used something, and what we're supposed to do after that. Mr. Idris, what do you feel? What do you feel? Who is responsible? Is it policies that are not enough, or we don't see? Because in this life, as humans, we are not perfect. We mostly need things like checks and balances to guide us in the right way. So is it that there are no policies or enforcement of policies and laws that's regarding the whole waste issue in the country, Mr. Idris?
All right. Thank you very much. One thing I would like to point out quickly is that waste is a kind of consequence of our everyday living. So there's no way we live without producing waste. So definitely, and also waste is a global. That is waste problem is a global issue. So it's something everyone. It's something people are trying to tackle globally, but the way we tackle it is just different. So in Nigeria, I think one of the issue that we have here in Nigeria regarding waste is that government have neglected their role in this waste management issue. Yeah, so there are some policies that the government have already put down that they are not really enforcing on people like that. Ordinarily, there are some people who don't even know about waste management, and mostly people will just buy their PET bottle, they buy their pure water, finish the pure water, finish the water inside, throw it away, and some don't even bother to look at where they throw it or how to dispose it of properly. Again, so I think number one, the government is not doing their job. There's a negligence on the part of the government. Like they are not even taking waste. They are not taking this waste issue as something that they need to, as something that they need to work on. They just feel they take it as a minor issue. You get? So I think, and again, even the people are not even concerned. And I can't really blame the people anyway, because ordinarily an average human being, we just think, okay, let me just buy my pure water, finish the water inside and throw away the nylon. Most people are not educated. They don't know about waste management. Some people don't even know some people don't even know the results of those nylons that they are throwing away. Some don't even know that those things are the causes of the flooding. Of flooding. And in some way, some of these things, like when you go to the beach now, some people go to the beach, they have fun, they do everything. They take bottle, they take nylon, and everything still sweeps into the river. And these things sometimes affect all the aquatic lives inside the water. So these people don't know. And I think that is the place that the government is supposed to come in. And I think the first thing they need to do, because you can't just arrest people for something they don't know. They need to create a channel whereby people will be educated. They need to invest in waste management education. I don't know, maybe they'll need to start from schools and hopefully extend it to markets, because if you look at waste generated, in fact, we generate more waste from markets, from marketplaces. And if you look at a place like Lagos, we have a lot of marketplaces, like big marketplaces, whereby they generate a lot of waste from there. So, firstly, I think government needs to educate the citizens as regards waste management. So, after educating the people, then you can now bring up policies or rules or enforcement that can now arrest or that can seek to correct people who are not managing their waste. Because even right now, I know majority of people who don't even know the effect of what they are doing. Some don't even know that drinking your pure water and throwing away the nylon on the floor is very bad. So I think one of the first things the government needs to do is to educate the citizens on what waste management is, how to do it, and what they need to do, or what they need to do. And another thing is, I think government needs to look at their policies and amend it such that it will include the industries also. Because we as humans, we cannot stop buying pure water, we cannot stop buying the Pepsi and Gala inside the bus, we cannot stop doing all those things. But it's I think the government needs to involve the industries. Once they sell out those things, they should look for a way or a channel to get back those things to them so that they can recycle it and hopefully use them to give us another product again. So I don't want to waste much time, but I don't know, maybe later.
No problem. In fact, you have contributed extensively, and you've exhausted the topic in its sense. So just a brief summary of what you just said now. You identified that one, the people are not aware of their actions, that it is they are not aware of their actions, that what they do is bad.
Of their actions is bad.
The government that is there, that is meant to I don't want to use the word caution, that is meant to bring to their
regulate,
enforce and everything. They are not active also, and people don't even know the importance in the power of proper waste management, because they don't know what these things relate to. For example, now you said when people the way people flush out their waste goes to, let's say, a canal, goes down to the river, and it's from this same river that some communities they also go to take their drinking water and their cooking water. So indirectly, what I do here in where I stay, Agbado, can be affecting the people in Osun State. So the people are not really aware of that relationship between, because there's a river here there's a river in my area that links to Oyo, and apart from Oyo, that links to Osun State. So I'm wondering, I'm imagining how it is going to be very detrimental, like the health effect and everything on people. Ms. Mushokwe, do you have any other thing to add to it? Because we just plan on spending 25 minutes and we are already 20 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Just to buttress what Idris said, he definitely said it to the fullest. He touched all points. You know, everyone, like what I would just say is everyone is playing, or everyone has a huge part to play. Do you get? For waste, you can never say that there's no how we can achieve sustainability. Is is like trying to achieve zero. We're trying to just achieve zero waste. Zero waste is not possible. Let's just put it. We are human.
Sure.
Not possible.
It's not
But
possible.
we can reduce it to the barest minimum. We can put plans, we can put systems, we can put processes, we can put policies, we can put people in place to ensure that it's reduced to the barest minimum. I was looking at today when I was coming home because I went out. I was just thinking of plastic waste. In the next, let's say 100 to 200, I don't think we can phase out plastic. It's not even possible. There's nowhere it's going. We use it too much in everything. I went to buy something and I was just looking at the packaging, the amount of plastic they used to pack. Like, it's not needed, but it's something that we know that is going nowhere in the next how many centuries, or let's just say decades or centuries. But the thing is, in order to prevent it from turning into waste, in order to prevent it from getting into where we don't necessarily want it to go to, there are things we can do. And the we I'm talking about is everyone. So it includes the government, like you said, in establishing policies, sustainable policies, adaptable policies, not just policies that we say, oh, okay, this you are supposed to do this, you're supposed to reduce your pollution to the barest minimum, you're supposed to use these devices. No, not necessarily. Adaptable things. If we have manufacturing companies, let's say manufacturing companies, most of these companies, they have raw materials, they produce waste from it, from things they import, they produce a lot of waste from these materials. Why don't you make sure all manufacturing companies are linked with recycling companies? Why not make sure that all of these businesses that operate this way and they are linked, recycling companies are looking for this plastic, they are looking for that's their own resource. And then these other companies are turning it out as waste. So why don't we put plans in place to ensure we link if you're in this manufacturing sector, you are linked to, if you are in the food sector, you are linked to the food packaging industry or recycling industry. If you're in this industry, you're linked to that. So there are things, it's just like Idris said, and I'm happy he said he wants to go into environmental research, which is key. We just need to research and make sure that we actively put adaptable and sustainable plans in place. And it's for the onus is on everybody. It's like sending a child to school right now. You cannot say you're sending your child to secondary school or primary school and you expect the school to do everything. The school is like saying, let's say the school is the government. The parents too have a huge part to play. When the child comes back from school, you are the one that has to, let's say, train the child, do this. The school can only do their best. But the onus is also on you to teach and imbibe some cultures into that child. So that's just how it is. It should be like a symbiotic relationship. It should be everybody coming together to do it together. Yes, that's all I just have to say.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Thanks for the points that you've raised. So basically from this whole, what we've discussed today, it's just begging for we as humans to do better. We as humans to be innovative and creative in our waste management.
Exactly.
We as humans, people that know should preach to the people that don't know, because that's the
exactly
way. In the business world, that's the fastest way of advertisement. So let's take this waste management as an advertisement that advertise to people that there are better ways we can do this thing as humans, instead of just causing negative effect of things that will be happening in the future as well. Because there are sometimes that now this December period, the waste that has been generated throughout this December period, like from pets, bottle, soda drinks, and all these things.
Everything.
Some people will be throwing them into the river. When the rainy season comes in,
of course,
the whole everywhere will be scattered.
They need to take it from one place to another.
So
exactly, and the effect of this. Okay, we're still going to go into the effects. Let me not. Sorry.
Yeah, the fact that it is not affecting us now, it can affect us in the future. The fact that it is not affecting where you stay, it's affecting people at other places. So we as humans have to do better. We want to thank everyone that will be listening to this podcast. This podcast was brought to you by the Jomo Climate Change Initiative. And I really want to thank my guests today, Ms. Bishopwe and Sir Idris. I'm sorry, I always said I'll be calling you Sir Idris, and Sir Idris for giving us their insights on who is responsible for this waste. We hope to see you next time in the coming episode.